What's up, Gacha gamers? I've been playing the game since soft launch and there's a lot of things I had to learn the hard way, so make sure to watch the whole video and learn about all of them. I will share with you 10 tips that will allow you to avoid making the same mistakes I and a lot of other players have made. Starting with the first one, don't grind the S-rarity weapons in the hard mode. Do not spend your time grinding for S-rarity weapons in the hard story mode stages. Not only is the drop rate abysmal, but you don't even have stat bonuses. Once you unlock some early very hard mode stages, you will be able to farm weapons with a chance of getting them with a stat bonus. Not only that, but they have a better percentage of dropping, so that means less grinding and more focusing on actually growing their stats. As an example, I've already got all of my great sword users with a +3 strength bonus weapons equipped, and there's plenty more to grind for me. Which brings us to the next point, don't grind the weapons and other resources until you reach at least 350 to 400 HP. You'll notice just how insane some of the enemies are. One moment they're hitting you for 30 damage, and before you know it, it's a bolt of lightning striking you for 500 damage. Having high HP is one of the most important stats in order to progress in the game, and you unlock it by doing stages which have the highest chance of awarding you new stat growths. And while having good equipment is nice, they are nowhere near as essential as having high HP and stats. Which brings us to the next part. Don't grind stages with a low chance of stats growing. One of the more poorly explained mechanics in Romancing SaGa Re universe are the shining auras. There's a very brief tutorial that shows you how they work, but they play an extremely important part if you want to progress efficiently. When you're making a choice which stage to grind, always examine all the party members and their auras. If it's shining bright yellow, it means they have a high chance of getting a stat growth after a battle. If they show a slower paced green aura, there is a smaller but still possible chance of getting a stat growth. And if there's no aura, you better not bring the style or else you're just wasting your time with them. Another thing you might notice is that switching out the same style of a base character can change the appearance of the aura, so make sure to experiment and see which style is the best one to bring before each grinding session. And obviously, this tip also applies when sending out your styles in expeditions. Examine what auras they have to maximize their stat growth after each expedition. Next, don't tunnel vision only 5 styles, you need various styles because of different content. The beauty of Romancing SaGa Re universe is that you need to raise various styles that excel at their specialty. Forest of Mystery is a great example of how your slashing units become weak and you need to turn to styles that have cold or shock attacks. But then on the other hand, those slashing units prove invaluable in the current event where the boss takes a huge amount of damage from these slashers. So don't just get stuck with a couple of characters and their styles, and make sure to raise at least one style each with their own different elemental attacks, defenses, and even debuffs. Next one up, don't delay and unlock all expeditions as soon as possible. One of the best ways to progress in the game is by unlocking all of the expeditions as soon as possible. The most important one is the last one, where your stats can grow up to 30 points and 300 HP. Get this unlocked as soon as possible and save your expedition tickets for this particular one because it will cost you upwards of 6 tickets per instant completion. And make sure to always utilize every expedition and send out styles that share the same weapon type with your party so you can unlock higher master level of those weapons. Moving onwards to some more resource based tips. First one would be don't spend too much Aurum. Aurum is the gold currency of the game. You'll have a lot of Aurum at first. You will run out of it very fast after you unlock skill awakenings and start evolving S-tier equipment. Be very careful and plan ahead. Don't just evolve random equipment, and instead focus outfitting your main party that progresses through the content and only awaken their skills. Keep an eye on some skill awakenings, as quite often the first skill can only be awakened once, but will cost 75,000 Aurum, and that will leave your Aurum debit account empty. And there are no Aurum credit cards, sadly. Next, don't spend puzzle pieces without a clear goal. Puzzle pieces are really hard to acquire. Even though you can acquire puzzle pieces from various activities, they are quite rare. You use these puzzle pieces to either complete a style and unlock it or uncap the style's style level. Probably the most important tip here is to make sure that you actually check what the style will provide once you uncap its level. As an example, Gustav is a level 40 and I have enough puzzle pieces to uncap his level style to 43, but instead I will only increase his style's max level to 42 because that's when he actually gets to get a bonus from reaching level 42, which is a master level experience point. And since the next bonus is only at level 46, I will only wait for the right time to uncap his level straight to 46 from 42. And yes, while you do gain stat percentage increases from each new style level, the flat bonuses are just way better. We're only 3 tips away, so let's move on to something more exciting. Don't forget to do your 6 roulette spins. I know, well it does sometimes feel like a drag that you need to watch ads in order to get free stuff. The nice thing about the ads here is that you have the potential of winning a jackpot of a 300 jewels, and this has happened to me 2 times already. And I understand this is a completely random thing, and it might never happen to you, and at worst, you're getting 60 jewels if you roll 6 10s in a row, or at best, you could end up with 8,800 jewels. I mean, we are playing gacha games where we get excited when we see new rare stuff appearing, so we might as well roll some roulette spins for some extra jewels. Speaking of which, don't get too excited and spend a lot of your jewels. During this launch, we're getting a lot of jewels and summon tickets, dash start quests, limited global tasks, and of course the pre-registration awards. Then, let's not forget you will get so many jewels from each and every stage you will complete in story and challenges. But there's a limit that you will reach, and I'm already experiencing it myself with my jewels accumulation. Since we already know a limited Christmas banner is already coming out in a few days, we can expect an accelerated rate of new limited banners to start dropping. And while these limited banners will not always bring new powerful styles, but they still might be of interest to those who want to have as many styles as possible. And instead of spending your jewels on summoning, there are pretty good deals happening right now where you can acquire 100 puzzle pieces plus 50k Aurum for 6.8k jewels, and this can prove an invaluable growth to some of your styles. Which brings us to our final tip: don't use SS styles to grind, sort of. If you have 2 styles that belong to the same base character, chances are the lower rarity style will provide better stat growths. When you grind, always make sure to equip a style that gives the best growth for stats. The general consensus is that the SS rarity styles are great for beating up tougher content, but when you're simply grinding, the S or A styles are almost always better to use. Few exceptions would be when you're using a SS style instead of the A or S style is Katarina as an example. Her S style only grows agility and intelligence, the latter being almost entirely useless to her, whereas her SS style can grow strength, dexterity, and agility. And if you're looking for a guide because you're not entirely sure how those styles work, make sure to check out our video, link is in the description. If you found the video useful, make sure to subscribe to us, hit the like button, and of course leave a comment, ask any questions you have. And if you're looking for the latest and greatest tier list for Romancing SaGa Re universe, we got you covered. There's a link in the description, make sure to check it out. Thank you for watching this video. This is Toby with Gacha Gamer, see you in the next video.